Hey guys, I'm going to show you guys how I make tofu tikka masala. So this recipe is loaded with protein. It goes amazing with basmati rice and it's entirely vegan. We're not going to use any oil in this recipe. So the ingredients for this recipe are 450 grams of firm tofu, 1 lemon, 1 cup plant-based yogurt. I used coconut yogurt, 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste. So the spices I'm using are 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cumin powder, 2 teaspoons garam masala, 2 teaspoons paprika powder, 2 teaspoons cumin powder. And for the sauce, the ingredients we're going to be using are 1 large onion, 2 tablespoons ginger garlic paste, 2 teaspoons cumin powder, 2 teaspoons turmeric, 2 teaspoons ground coriander, 2 teaspoons paprika powder, 2 teaspoons chili powder, 2 teaspoons garam masala, a cup of coconut milk, and a can of diced tomatoes. So we're going to start off by chopping the tofu into small little blocks. Add that in. Add in the yogurt, ginger and garlic, the spices, 1 lemon. I'm going to put this in the fridge for about half an hour. So in my rice, I'm just going to add like a teaspoon of turmeric. I have a little bit turmeric left. I'm just going to sticks. I'm going to take 2 cinnamon sticks. I'm going to air fry the tofu now. So I'm just placing the tofu on the tray and putting it in the air fryer for about 22 minutes on 200 degrees. So the tofu is finished. We're going to get started on the sauce. Putting a little bit of water. So once it starts boiling, we add the onions in. Because we're not using any oil, we have to constantly keep stirring this so it doesn't stick. And if it starts sticking, if it starts to dry up, just add more water in. The ginger garlic mince. Add the spices. Diced tomatoes. I'm going to add the tofu in now. Add a cup of coconut milk. Some salt. Cover it for a bit. So rice is finished. So that's the recipe, guys. Just serve it over some hot basmati rice and it honestly tastes so good. This is one of my favorite recipes by far. I'm going to be making this a lot more now. For everyone, because I hear this so much, I hear this a lot. If your excuse to not follow a strict diet, either to bulk or to cut, is because you have Indian parents who cook for you, use really oily foods, it's just not healthy food. If that is your excuse, that you have Indian parents and they won't let you cook your own food, buy your own meat, stop it. That's the worst excuse you could possibly think of, because this goes with anyone, like no matter what kind of parents you have. If you want to make progress in gym, in fitness, you have to learn to cook your own food. You can't use external factors as an excuse. Control your environment. Don't get controlled by your environment. Great quote by Chris Gethin, someone I look up to a lot. It's just, you have to learn to control everything around you. If you're serious about making gains, if you're serious about progress in the gym, You can't use that as an excuse. You have to cook. You have to learn how to cook your own food. There's no way around that. There is nothing you can do that could bypass the fact that you have to learn to cook your own food. You have to learn to count macros. You have to learn to weigh your food. You have to learn to use MyFitnessPal, count your macros in, count your calories. You have to learn all of that if you're serious about making gains, because your diet is, I would say, 90% of your fitness journey. So if your excuse is, oh, I have Indian parents, I can't cook anything, I can't do anything, I don't eat meat, I'm vegetarian parents, those are stupid excuses. Don't use that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, only you can control what goes in your body. No one else can. Your parents can't force you to eat something that you don't want to eat. It's just, you have to learn to cook your own food. You have to learn to cook everything. So please don't use that as an excuse, the fact that you have Indian parents. You cannot make any gains if you continue to eat the same old Indian curries with oil, with fat, with ghee, butter. You're not going to make any gains. You're not going to make any fitness progress unless you cook your own food. Like, you can't bulk eating chicken curry. You can't eat whatever your mom makes you. You can't eat whatever your dad cooks you. It doesn't work like that. Stop doing that. Cook your own food. If you can't cook, learn how to cook. Just as you would learn how to do a squat, a deadlift, or a bench press, how you would learn to lift weights, do a certain exercise, you have to learn to cook your own food, because that in itself is an important part of your fitness progress. So you have to learn. There is no way around that. I'm sorry. But that's my little rant. You have to learn how to cook your own food.